Hello everybody, and welcome to today's live stream. And shame on me, I am using the webcam, and I'm not even wearing the same color blue as what's in my avatar. That is just heinous. I'm gonna make this smaller. Okay, actually, we'll make it about this big. Definitely enough to be noticeable. Obviously, if you want to, watch this for the first time, it probably should be done on your own, as this is going to come from the perspective of somebody who's already watched Epic, and this is a rerun through where we will be sort of just going through everything. We're going to start off with the Troy Saga and end off in the Underworld. I have already listened to this, so nothing that's going to happen here is necessarily going to surprise me, especially from the lyrical stance, as I've listened to this countless times. But it is one of those other things that I am interested in that, I have been hyper-fixated on for quite a while. And I think that it would be interesting to talk about it in a stream. And sort of just like all the different ideas that might come to my head at some point during this. I also need to pull up my stream on a different tab. Let me see here. Because this is going to be a little bit more involved than what I normally do. Also, I see that the shorts are doing very well. I'm definitely going to have to do more of those, as it is getting me more subscribers. So I'm pulling up my live stream on a different tab thing here, mainly because at this point, let me see here, I need to be able to edit the descriptions. Okay. So what we're gonna do, because I don't know how to edit actually, let me see, it says edit video here. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So the first thing that we're going to listen to, and while we're talking and sort of building up, we are going to be listening to Hollow Knight ambient music in the in-between, just because I really love Hollow Knight. Hence it being the channel's avatar at this time probably will change post-Silksong into something else. But this is a little bit more involved than usual, for the simple reason, and one of my friends named David is playing Balloons Tower 6, but actually a different David was who introduced me to Epic the Musical. And yeah, this is going to be a little bit more involved than normal, because throughout this we're going to be choosing different animatics, and I want to make sure that everybody gets credited properly that I'm reacting to. We have the great Jorge Rivera Herenz for making this musical, and we are going to start with the Troy Saga. So let me pull that up. So the very first song here is The Horse and the Infant. And if you're not familiar with Epic, I would say that you probably should, I don't know, you probably should watch it on your own time and not have your first experience be a reaction. Just 1 second, I need to grab my charger. My thing is low. I'm going to cut these out too, and have them be just mainline channel content, because I really do like streaming, but a big question that I have here for how I'm going to do this is I do think I want streaming to be my main thing, though I want to have other videos on the channel, and the way that we're going to do that is we're going to be trying to do some short form content in our live streams that are good for clips, but we're also going to be taking out segments of the stream in order to have them be standalone videos. So this video, outside of the stream, is going to be the Troy Saga, and the Troy Saga starts with the Horse and the Infant. And for those who are watching this as their first experience anyway, well, first off, you're going to have to deal with a little bit of visual clutter, because I'm here and also my avatar at the bottom. So if you want to watch the original animatics, they're going to be linked periodically in the description, and I'm also going to type them in stream chat as we are reacting to them, so that people can watch on their own. So, if you don't know what Epic the Musical is, it is based on one of Homer's stories called the Odyssey, which is what happens after the Iliad and the Trojan War and the journey home. And also, I realize I need to turn the desktop I/O down. You also will want to listen to these things on your own to get the clearest audio, and I do plan on pausing throughout the streams. If that's not for you, but you still are interested, make sure to check the description. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting journey. Also, I brushed my hair and like got all ready for this just to have that plan derailed, which is kind of funny. But okay, 5 minutes of yapping in, we're going to start a reaction to the first song of 4, The Horse and the Infant. And I need to turn off the ambience because it won't necessarily fit.
Alright, my brothers, listen closely. Tonight we make the Trojans.
So I think Gigi actually was one of the people who also did Hamilton animatics back in the day, which I absolutely adore Hamilton. And immediately what I notice about the way that they're drawing Odysseus is he looks like somebody in his 30s or late 20s, not early 20s. You can tell that he has a little bit of scruff. He is a little bit worn down from the battle. And it is an interesting choice that we do not start really with knowing who is leading this. If you know that it's about Homer's Odyssey, then you can pretty easily infer that it's Odysseus, because clearly this is the captain. This is the leader of this army, as it starts with like a rallying cry to get the troops on board. And actually, so I haven't really read the Odyssey, and parts of the Odyssey that I have read, it has been a very long time since I have read them. I don't know if 10 years is what was in the original story, or if that was something that has changed. Also, this line just goes so hard.
Think of your wives and your children. Your families wonder where you've been. They're growing old and yet you're still here. Do what I say and you'll see them again.
So that's an interesting thing too that will come back later, is he specifically commands his troop, just do what I say and you'll see them again. And I won't go too much into what happens in future sagas. Not specifics, but I will be talking spoilers in general here. I'm not going to go out of my way and try to say that like I'm not going to reveal things along the way, because I absolutely am. But you know, these soldiers here, they will maybe not be the most subordinate of people, especially going on through the story. So it is just very interesting how this will all work out. Yeah, so everybody's made the joke, what is little Ajax doing? I think if you know the lore a little bit better, you might know, but I think little Ajax is just a child to the normal Ajax. And this is really set up in the Iliad, which it's going to be interesting because I believe that Jorge is going to be making another musical called Ilium, which is going to be about the Iliad and the events that led to the Trojan War, which is definitely interesting. And I mean, this musical too, it has made me want to look into Greek mythology and the stories, and it's made me interested in something that I otherwise wouldn't be that interested in. I mean, I've read a Percy Jackson book or two back in the day, and I've also I've seen things about Greek tragedies through the grapevine, but really I wasn't too interested, and especially like the Percy Jackson movies, getting good representation of those old stories. I felt like in the modern era, it didn't have anything that's really sucked me in quite like this. And as somebody who loves musicals like Hamilton, Les Miserables, Dear Evan Hansen, though that's a very different type of musical, I definitely do find it fascinating about how all this uh, works, and it makes it intriguing because I don't think that there's really anything that I've seen like this before. It very well could exist. I also listened to the Percy Jackson musical back in the day. It was not it for me. It didn't really create more intrigue other than, oh, I guess that was fun to listen to for a day. But yeah, we'll keep on going in the video. So this is just such a good song in so many aspects. And this is a curse image. Let me just just unpause real quick. So it sets up the stakes very clearly for the story. What is the purpose of our mission? The purpose of this mission is to get back home to Penelope, to the wife, to the kids, to the homeland. And this is just like very smart from a writing perspective, having clear stakes for our audience very quickly, where you don't know anything about this person really, yet at the same time you also know everything you need to know about them. We know that they're a leader at this point in the story. We know that they're fighting to get home. It is not revealed. You could just assume that they're like a general at this point, which would be an incorrect assumption. But they are a captain, they are a leader, and they just want to get home. And they've been at war for 10 years, which is just super interesting. That's all the information we start with, and it will only get more interesting as we go further through the sagas. But yeah, let's keep on going. And this is the moment where a lot of people who know their Greek mythology are like, oh, okay, we're following Odysseus. Because Penelope in itself, I feel like it's a name that enough people have that you might not necessarily associate it with any particular character. But Telemachus is definitely a very Greek name. Like, don't tell me that you know somebody named Telemarketing. We all know it's not true. You don't know anybody named Telemachus. I didn't say Telemachus before? No, I definitely said Telemachus before. What are you talking about? Okay.
Telemachus, I'm on my way.
And you hear just all these vocals going on in the background, real like yells, screaming. It's amazing. Huh.
Who was that?
So we hear the wind, we hear thunder, which is so fascinating to just hear that in the instrumentals. And the characters that are being brought forth in this world, you will notice that is so well thought out how they introduce it. Because I'm not going to beat around the bush. Odysseus in this moment is seeing Zeus, the Thunder Bringer. And whenever we're listening to the track, you hear thunder. It's very faint, but in the background you do hear thunder, some roaring that happens.
Of what is to come cannot be outrun, can only be dealt with right here and now.
Tell me how.
I don't think you're ready. A mission to kill someone's son, a foe who won't run, unlike anyone you have faced before.
Say no more. I know that I'm ready.
I don't think you're ready.
So, yes, we just see a baby crib here. We see that the foe that cannot run is just the little boy. And that is just so heartbreaking. And, Odysseus here is probably not going to make the decision that a lot of people would But I mean, whenever it's your family on the line, it's a very interesting choice here because it's basically the question of would you kill baby Hitler? And except it's not even baby Hitler because Hitler, you could say like they killed so many millions of people based on eugenics, right? But here, the scale isn't necessarily as massive, but the scale is a lot more personal because it's not like they're gonna kill 1,000 people. It's like they're gonna kill the people that you love and treasure the most. But right now they're defenseless. And how could you harm something that is defenseless? And Odysseus, I think, is going to take a lot of inner strength in order to be able to make this decision. And it's also interesting just from a Greek mythology sort of mythos perspective, because I think in the original Greek tragedy and the story, some versions of this have Odysseus kill the son of Prince Hector, while other versions that goes to somebody like Achilles, which is interesting because it's like, why is that? Why are some of the stories told a different way? And it's maybe because, particular groups weren't really fond of Odysseus, and they wanted to smear the name and the tell by having these details, which is very interesting. And it also harkens my mind, and I don't want to get too into spoiler territories for other things, but it reminds me of Squid Games Season 3 and just how different a certain ending could be if, Odysseus and the main character of Squid Games switch places. That might make for a better story, some might say, and some might say a worse story. And I actually, at some point, probably should make a short based off that idea. Would be pretty funny. It's just an infant.
It's just a boy. What sort of imminent threat does he pose that I cannot avoid?
So this is the son of Troy, which Troy is the king, and they're in the midst of the Trojan War. So basically what Zeus is saying here is, hey, this child is going to avenge his father in what you guys have done. And I'm definitely going to try to make this as transformative as possible. So if you guys don't like that, I'm sorry, but I'm just... I'm such a nerd about certain things, and I want to transform as much of this content as possible. I know that some people might be like, okay, this is getting a little bit annoying, pausing so much, but I definitely want to add to the discussion here. I'm not just, especially because this isn't a blind reaction. I'm sort of taking things in and just letting you guys know what I think about the greater story here. Now, it is fascinating to just sort of ponder, is Zeus being truthful here? Like, is fate something that you can't avoid? If Odysseus were to let this child live, and a god told you that there will be hell and pain that will come if you do not kill this infant, is that a certainty? Or is there a way to fight fate? That it's such an interesting question. Because you'd like to think that there is a way where both the baby and her family could live if this was you, but could a god be wrong about their foresight? I just feel like it's a hard question to know any concrete answer to.
This is the son of none other than Troy's very own Prince Hector. Know that he will grow from a boy to an avenger, one fumed with rage as you're consumed by age. If you don't end him now, you'll have no one left to save. You can say goodbye to. You can say goodbye to.
Yeah, the amount of just terrible that sets up, because he has one goal in mind, and he is dead set on that goal. And Zeus is out here telling him, if you even think about letting this baby live, that goal will never come to fruition. this is your only hope of getting to see your wife again. And not only are you not going to see her if you do not kill this baby, but everything that you love is going to be destroyed. And for the people who have watched all of Epic the Musical, this next section is definitely particularly interesting because it comes back thematically in almost a motif later on from a different character's perspective. So if you guys are a big fan of Epic the Musical, what I want you to do is go to the what saga was that? I think it's the Thunder Saga. I don't even know if that's the technical name for it, but the first saga of Act Two, and in the song "Suffering," just go to where it's talking about the other god that Odysseus really has a struggle with, and what that one character says, and just match it to what Zeus is saying. And it's actually scarily similar to the point that I think it almost has to be intentional. But that's just something for the real epic geeks out there to listen for, and you'll see what I'm saying, and you'll find it very interesting. Oh.
Please don't make me do this. Don't make me do this.
The blood on your hands is something you won't lose. All you can choose is food.
So that ending line is just so haunting because he's saying, "Hey, listen, either way, there is going to be a lot of blood and suffering on your hands. It's just inevitable." And we'll let this play, GG. So thank me for a couple cents coming your way if if you're watching this. We'll let the ad play while we're talking about the thoughts. So he is basically saying, hey, regardless of what's going on, you are going to have a lot of blood sowed on your hands. That's inevitable. The only choice you have here is, do you kill this innocent baby at this point, in a sense? Not necessarily in the future, but the baby doesn't even have capacity for wrong yet. Do you kill this baby now and have that blood be on your hands, or do you have the blood on your hands later by the result of you being too merciful? Which is definitely interesting. One might even say that ruthlessness in this case might even be an act of mercy. What one might say. Yes, okay. I hope nobody's watching this as their first thing, because I'm gonna be spoiling so much and being a little bit coy about it. So it's definitely, man. Okay. Do we stick with Gigi for Just a Man? Well, I haven't put her link into the thing into stream chat yet, so I'm definitely gonna do that now. We'll go to the live thing. There's 5 people watching. Welcome. I hope that you guys are enjoying yourselves on the stream. This is the video was 4 minutes and we're already at the 20-minute mark, but this might take a while. But yeah, so that's gonna be the horse and the infant. We're gonna stick with Gigi for now. For the Cyclops saga, I know at some point we're switching to Mercy, which is going to be so fun. That was just so fun. That's all I can say. Because, oh man, if you have not watched Mercy's animatic for it, you are absolutely missing out. So this next link that we're putting on the stream chat, that is going to link us to Just a Man, the second song in the Troy saga. And yeah, it's saying it takes place right after this one. So yeah, this is a song where it's going to have a lot of contemplation. So these are the soldiers outside of Troy, still fighting it out in the middle of the Trojan War. So this is very interesting too, because it might not just register in the first song that he's been away for 10 years, and the first thought that he thinks whenever he sees this baby is, this baby just reminds me of how old my kid was back whenever I started this fighting with the Trojans. So his kid has basically grown up fatherless, not knowing really who their father is. Maybe in some abstract sense, knowing them, like, oh, okay, yeah, my father, he's this captain, he's this great leader. We'll find out later on that Odysseus has a thing with Athena going on, but you don't really know them, which is definitely interesting. And it's interesting too, just from a stylistic standpoint. You can definitely tell that these children are a little bit different, but they are drawn very similarly. You can see a distinct difference. I don't know if you could go as far as to say that this one looks a little bit like Odysseus. Probably not. But it's just fascinating, though. Left for war. Oh.
These actions haunt my days. Every man I've slain is the price I pay. Endless pain. Close your eyes and spare yourself the view.
Which, that's definitely an interesting line, too. Close your eyes and spare yourself the view. It's making it sound... Oh, hello, Janus Sheriff. Interesting to... have you watched Epic before? But whenever he's saying close your eyes and spare yourself the view, it's like, is he asking the baby to do this for the baby's sake? Or is he almost like asking the baby, pleading with the baby, so he doesn't have to look into its eyes whenever he commits this heinous deed? And really, how do you know whether or not we're capable of even making the decision? I mean, both are babies, and he probably forgot how his baby looked like. You knew what I mean? Yeah, he's just like, oh man, well, I mean, I had a son too, you know? Every single baby looks a little bit like a pharaoh with hair. Yeah, I got you, Jaina.
How could I hurt you? I'm just a man who's trying to go home. Even after all the years away from what I've known, I'm just a man who's fighting for his life. Deep down I would trade the world to see my son and wife.
Yeah, so this is... Oh man, it's so heartbreaking too, knowing the full story. It's been 10 years. Yes, that is true. It hasn't quite been 12 long years, but it definitely has been 10 long years. But yes, this is such a hard part, especially if you're in the know and you've watched the full epic. This whole story is putting this line to the test. Is this man willing to actually trade the world to see his son and wife? And yeah, it'll be interesting too. And another question is like, is this a selfish rationalization? Like, I'm just a man, and this is my goal, so I really have no other choice, because what am I to do in this world of gods, in this pantheon? Best Husband of the Year award goes to Odysseus. Odysseus of Ithaca. I mean, yeah, the reigning king of Ithaca. You know, he's very bold to say that he's the reigning king at some point, because after 10 years, you would assume that, you know, they wouldn't call him a reigning king, especially not knowing where his whereabouts are. And yeah, that's good that you've watched Epic before, because since I see a couple people are in here, I'm coming at this from the perspective of somebody who's already watched this. And I don't want people to have this be your first impression, but I will be putting links to all the animatics. And also, if you guys have any animatic suggestions, do let me know. There are some things that I definitely know I'm going to do, like we're going to switch for Mercy for some of the Cyclops saga, and we are definitely going to switch to Nils Illustrator for the end of the Ocean Saga, because I don't think that we have much of a choice there. In my professional opinion.
But when does a comet become a meteor? When does a candle become a blaze? When does a man become a monster?
And Gigi is really good here, and they're just a very talented animator. They very quickly, and I think this was before the full thing was released, picked up on the fact that there is such an insane double meaning here. Because, of course, he's talking about Prince Hector, and basically the prophecy that Zeus told him that he would find vengeance for Troy and his family. But also, is this where Odysseus becomes the monster? I was about to say Nil Illustrator. Hello, Che. Thank you for saying it's an epic stream. It literally is. Yeah, Thunder's Bringer and Ruthlessness are chef's kiss. Yeah, but he's definitely a loyal husband. Yeah, you can say that he has a better character than Hamilton for sure.
Does a ripple become a tidal wave? When does the reason become the blame? When does a man become a monster?
This is just such a haunting way to illustrate it too, with his men basically seeing what he's doing, just bringing this baby. You were about to ask for Nil too? Yeah, they do the best depictions of the gods. For sure, if Epic the Musical became an animated movie, I'd want them to go with Nil Illustrator's designs for the gods, for sure. But this is such a haunting image. Just imagine where Leader comes out from the throne room of Troy, and you just see him dangling this baby off the cliff. This is such a terrible thing to think, but I don't know if any of you guys have seen a giraffe give birth. I mean, that's basically what's about to happen, unfortunately. Cyril's Suffering, Different Beast, Scylla, and Mutiny are good too. I'll keep that in mind for whenever we get there. We're just going to be covering Act 1 because we are definitely going to be talking about just the thought processes going on, and I don't even want... We're 32 minutes in, and we're on song number 2 of Saga number 1. So we're just doing Act 1 for this stream, but I will keep that in mind for whenever we get to Act 2. But this is such a haunting image. So that's, I mean, it's so interesting where he says he's just a man there. And the real question I think you also have to ask whenever it comes to they make them hot, that's for sure. I mean, I definitely love to see their depictions of Aphrodite. I think they have their god games. I haven't seen their depiction of god games yet. Forgive me, I'm just a man. Sir, you threw a baby off a balcony. Bye, for real, nobody's forgiving you. Yeah, I mean, listen, Gihun wouldn't do it, you know? We're not horses. Okay. I'm trying to... We'll go through the animatics. So I don't know necessarily for full speed ahead what animatic we're gonna go with. I feel like Wolfie the Witch... If this is the one I'm thinking of, I definitely like Wolfie the Witch's full speed ahead. Oh, this one says it's updated audio. Okay. So we're going to link... we're going to talk about our thoughts while the ad plays, because support content creators, guys. But I'm going to link Wolfie the Witch's updated full speed ahead into the stream chat. Hopefully this ad isn't, like, super long. But, are we doing the full stream? Like, are we watching the full musical? We are doing Act 1. I think I put that in my stream title. I had a little bit of an oopsie with the stream title. But yeah, we're just doing Act 1. If we can make it through Act 1. We are... we're not moving at a very fast pace. If we can do... If we can do all of Act 1, we will. But yeah, different beast. Did Nil Illustrator do one for different beast and Scylla? I can't even imagine Nil Illustrator Scylla. Dude, how long is this ad? What the heck? Oh, this ad is a minute and 56 seconds. Okay. Oh man. I think they get credit for you watching it if you've watched it so long. So we're gonna act like we contributed a penny to their bank account. Okay, you'll be here for Act 2. Yeah, make sure to subscribe. I don't know whenever we're gonna do Act 2 because we're on a Hollow Knight cruise too on the channel. Where we've been doing a lot of Hollow Knight because Silk Song is going to come out pretty soon. But I'm also very interested in musicals, and I haven't really done too many reaction like videos. I'm trying to get back into it. But yeah, okay, we're gonna go full speed ahead into this video. Oh, okay. Oh man, actually got to rewind there. That um. So I wonder. I guess this might have come out after the Olive Tree cut song was released, because I think that's the Olive Tree bed at this point. The creator is making another one, by the way. Yeah, I saw that, Ilium, and I believe that's going to be about the Iliad and the Trojan War. You see, I need to read the source material for this stuff. Because I know little tidbits here and there, but I don't know the full story. I haven't read the Iliad or the Odyssey on their own fully. I've heard snippets, that are very popular. Also, hello, Renita Diaz. Nice to see you. I think you're also new to the stream. But I think this is supposed to be Penelope and Odysseus's bed that was carved into an olive tree, which I never noticed this detail about this animatic before. I think I've watched it before, but I don't think I've ever really caught that before. So that's definitely interesting.
600 men, 600 miles of open sea. But the problem's not the distance, it's what lies in between. And Ithaca's waiting, my kingdom is waiting, Penelope's waiting for me. So full speed ahead, full speed.
So how they draw Odysseus, he definitely looks a little bit younger in this one, which is interesting. Like he looks maybe like mid-20s in this compared to Gigi's that I think looks a lot more established. Also, I realize I need to be saving the links so that I can add them to the description easier later. Since we're reacting to so many different animatics, I don't want to leave anybody out. So. We'll have a lot to say about him in Act 2. But I will say this. See, this guy, I cannot stand this guy. I cannot stand this guy. I've tried to do epic karaoke, and whenever people say, play Eurylochus, I just refuse to talk, because you'll never hear any of my lines, hear any of his lines coming out of my mouth.
So Captain, what's the plan? Captain, what's the plan? Watch where the birds fly. They will lead us to land. There will hunt for food, my second in command. Now full speed ahead.
So Odysseus shows how clever he is whenever he's like, hey, use the birds to find land. Like, I would have never thought of that. I'd just be stuck at sea forever at that point. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, a lot of animatics make him look young for some reason? Well, I think a lot of people who are into the Hamilton fandom did animatics, and I think that sort of inspired the look. Like Odysseus and Hamilton from those musical animatics, a lot of people make them look similar, and Hamilton definitely starts with Hamilton being young. And I think a lot of people sort of imagine Odysseus being that way at the start. And he's much younger at the start of this musical, but he's still very old and sort of war hardened even at the time. Let's see here. Me too. I did from the beginning. Yeah. No, I definitely understand what you're saying there. I've got, I think we're talking about how how Odysseus looks, but my mind's like, wait a second, are you saying that you agree with me about Eurylochus and like you just were that way from like the moment he came on screen? Because if so, that would be hilarious. Like, I don't know what there is about this guy, but I absolutely hate him. Oh, I love this guy. I also love this depiction of Polites, because Polites, here's the thing, he reminds me a lot of sort of Rousey from Deltarune. If you guys um, are into the gaming sphere, you know, but clearly he has pacifistic tendencies, but he is a warrior deep down.
Something feels off here. I see fire, but there's no smoke.
I say we strike first. We don't have time to waste, so let's break the place.
Just how pissed Polites is looking. Just like as Eurylochus talks, is literally just so me. Eurylochus, just zip it. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. Yeah, and this is definitely interesting. Like, there's definitely a big thing that we're like thinking here of like, I'm gonna pause it. Like, to what extent are we trying to be reasonable and sort of bargain with people versus how much is it like, I have 600 men to feed. Like, we're getting fed, and if we have to stomp through village and raid the place, like, it is just 100% gonna happen, just because logistically it has to happen in order for us to get home. Yes, they made him look like his voice actor slash singer, like the glasses and hair. Yes, I definitely like that look. And there is a big sort of question mark in my mind. Like, if they did an animatic, not an animatic, if they did a full animation movie, do you go with how the voice actors look? Or do you go with how these people likely looked in, you know, the original story? Because here's the thing, I will say this, I very much love Wolfie the Witch's drawings. I love Illustrator's gods, but I'm not sure I love how they do like Odysseus and the crew myself. But yes, it is absolutely adorable. And then Full Speed Ahead, I definitely like this song. I think the other two songs in the Troy Saga that came before this were thematically stronger. I think it can also be confusing on a first listen because it's like, wait, did he kill the baby or not? Especially if you did not watch an animatic for it. It's like sort of left in the air, but it sort of gets clarified later. I think Open Arms is next, unless I'm forgetting something. Okay, I don't know what we're gonna do. Mercy's. I didn't know that Mercy. I think I've seen this one before. Um, I don't know if there's necessarily any preferences the chat has on what we do for Open Arms. Good one, yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of these ones are pretty good. This one looks interesting too. Oh well, huh. Did you watch the Gigi one? Well, oh, well, that's not a bad idea. We can do Gigi if Gigi has an open arms one. I don't see open arms by Gigi. Might exist. The one that was sort of calling to me was this one. This was like the one that I was like, huh, I don't know if I've seen this one before. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this one. Um, Jan Hera is not really a name that I think of whenever I think of Epic the Musical, so let me put it in chat. Or oh, you have one? Or we're saying that Gigi has one. Gigi open arms animatic. I see formerly human. That's the first thing that pops up whenever I see that. Oh, from formerly human? Yeah, we can do that one. Okay. Where does nudity happen in this? I don't remember that part of the story. Okay, let me just put the links in my little folder for later, and we're also putting it in chat, because we support original creators here. So we're making sure that everybody's going to get properly credited. Okay. Okay, so this is an interesting take on Odysseus. I see that they also kept the glasses, probably trying to make it look like the original actor. That mustache on Odysseus is maybe a little bit much. But I really like this polities. Yeah, it's awesome. Oh man, I love that. Well, first off, you can tell that this is an animatic, but sometimes it's like, hey, wait a second, we're not an animatic. We, you love the background colors, it really pops off. That's what I was just about to say. These backgrounds are just full-on animations. This is absolutely absurd. And the level of quality with the background design is amazing here. Yeah, this is. I don't think I haven't seen this one before, but I'm really vibing with it so far. And I also like the tropical island vibe that this gives off, and it does make sense considering we're at this unknown island, and this might be where where food is. Yeah, it's oh man. But I don't think I like their Odysseus. I love their apologies, but their Odysseus, I don't know about that. So yeah, it's interesting too to go through this 10-year war and also still be able to want to approach the world with open arms. And that's also going to be another struggle. Do you close off your heart, or do you assume the best in people, and which one of those is right? And I don't think that there's a clear answer to that in the musical, as I think it's a little bit more nuanced than one is right and one is wrong. I think it's a very situational sort of thing. Like the open arms mentality isn't always going to work. Which reminds me a lot of Undertale, and actually, if you haven't seen it, I definitely would recommend at some point checking out the Deltarune Open Arms animatic, especially if you like gaming. Like this animatic, it cuts out certain parts from the story to make it make more sense within the world of Deltarune. like it cuts out the Lotus Eater stuff, but it's definitely just such an interesting thought experiment because you can't be completely pacifistic, a complete pacifist all the time. He looks so good because he's really sad about killing the baby, and it shows in this one. That is true. That is true. It is eating away at him. And how do you deal with something like that? And I think the answer is you simply don't.
Stay back. My friend, greet the world with open arms. We're only here for food. 600 friends are waiting for us to show our faces. Stay back, I'm...
Okay, so this is definitely interesting. Okay, so this is Athena looking, which Athena often is represented by an owl. I wouldn't take this as canon. Usually, if like Athena's presence is there, you'll hear it sort of in a piano melody, to sort of symbolize that we're dealing with Athena. But the fact that she is here watching, I do like, and I think it could make sense from a narrative perspective, considering we're going to be seeing her very shortly. Though I don't know if she necessarily was watching this interaction, but it is interesting to headcanon that.
If we don't get back safely, my men will turn this place into blazes. See? This life
Oh, that's adorable. Why is Odysseus fully disarmed here, though? So this is definitely interesting, and I do like how the fandom sort of interprets these creatures as like tiny little cat things. It's definitely pretty hilarious. But in the original Odyssey, if you haven't read it, I do know this, is the idea that nobody got taken by these Lotus Eaters wasn't necessarily the truth. The Lotus Eaters were just people, from my understanding. Just people who basically forgot everything about who they were because they ate this fruit. Also, hello, Bloom's brother. Welcome to have you back in the chat. Oh, I got 40 subscribers though. Oh, wow. We're going to have to celebrate. Pretend this is champagne. But it's just tea. It's just tea. But, no, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I sort of lost my train of thoughts there. But no, I mean, yeah, it's I absolutely adore this take on polities. But no, I don't know really which philosophy is better throughout the musical because I think there's like evidence of both.
my friend, I wish that I could say that I agree. But look at the way this fruit is glowing and filled with glowing seeds. It took me a while to notice just what kind of fruit they eat. It's a lotus, it controls your mind and never lets you free. That's what we'd get with open arms.
Oh man, the color in this is just absolutely incredible. This is so detailed for an animatic. Oh man, and they had to include silhouettes of the drunk Nightlen footage found. Yep, I'm so drunk. You like them as weird creatures? I do think it makes them more interesting, and I definitely there's a lot of little details about Epic that aren't necessarily in line with the source material that I like. But let's just go back and appreciate what we had there. This is whenever we yeetuses like we just yeeted that baby. Oh, that is such a oh man, they're just being cruel with the reference. Man, that is tough. But and oh, they also have polities in this version picking up the baby. The backgrounds are just so godlike here. It's amazing. The Odysseus is kind of growing on me a little bit. Just a little bit.
Greet the world with open arms. Greet the world with open world with open arms. You can relax, my friend.
Yeah, so that's interesting too, because well, first off, there are some things about the scene that I'm like, man, they must be really desperate. I like that when Odysseus shows up, it becomes red, like dangerous, not peaceful, like Polites. Yeah, that's another detail, and I might have not have caught that on itself. Chat, should I drink beer? Beer. I'm bored. Can we watch memes? Unfortunately, we're not going to be watching memes. Yeah, that Odysseus probably thinks that if Polites was in his position, he wouldn't kill the baby. I don't think that Polites would kill the baby, but if what Zeus was saying was literally true, I feel like you kind of don't have a choice. Because if it's your family or somebody else's family, I mean, it's just human nature to pick your own. But I think next we have Warrior of the Mind. And I would say we would go to, Rear Light. But this is going to take long enough without going through cut content. But maybe we'll do a different video where we check out some of the cut songs. I don't think there's too many. Okay, I don't know what animatic we should pick for Warrior of the Mind. Student short film. Well, that's not the full song. I really like how Wolfie the Witch. Oh, but I love Mercy too. Huh, okay. Well, I'll let you decide, Jaina, since you're here, or Bloomsbrother. What should we do? Should we do Mercy or Wolfie the Witch? I really like both of these animators, so I feel like it would be almost impossible for me to choose. So, what are you talking about? Are you feeling high? we are reacting to Epic the Musical. I am letting you guys pick though, which one that we are doing. Probably hard for you too, because you probably also like Wolfie the Witch and Mercy. We will be switching to Mercy for some of the Cyclops songs. Okay, well I'm just gonna pick if there's not an answer in chat soon. Or maybe there's even other choices that could be interesting. Wolfie covers the first couple songs. I'm sad they didn't continue. Show them no mercy, ha, get it? I'm very corny. The Blue Owl cover one. Okay. So Mercy. Okay. Yeah, we'll do the Mercy one. Also, Bloomsbrother, if you have no idea how deep of a joke that is, that is funny. Okay, so I'm gonna link it in chat so that you guys can also watch the video on your own without me constantly pausing and interrupting. But we are reacting. I said one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see. Okay. Crazy to think this is 2 years old. I really joined the Epic fandom pretty late. So this is an interesting framing at the end of this. You see a fruit being thrown at Odysseus. I don't necessarily know where this idea came from, but my mind harkens back to, of course, the Garden of Eden, which is like sort of like the religious framing, which is interesting whenever we're dealing with gods. This Athena, positioning Athena like this is just simply brilliant. And for people who are less aware, let's see, now 14 people watching. No, pause like you want. I like hearing your opinion. Okay, so this is definitely interesting. So whenever it comes to Athena here, we are literally having like a time stop where we are retreating into what the creator has referred to as quick thought. So his interaction with Polites, he is very much in his own mind now, and this is all happening all at once while time is sort of stopped around him, which is definitely interesting. When does a man become a monster? Rick Comics, you don't like that animatic. Yeah, well, I did give the chat a chance to choose, and we got the Mercy one out of the thing. Also, Logical Fallacy, welcome here. If you want to hop on and join, you are more than welcome, though. If you are busy, that is fine. Fallacy, get out and go drink more FNAF beer. Yeah, the Logical Fallacy is my cousin here, and we often do collabs together.
Have you forgotten your purpose? Let me remind you. Goddess of wisdom.
This Athena design is amazing, though. You might not like it, Rex Comics, but I love it.
Creed the greatest warrior. I had a challenge, a test of skill.
I'm probably exposing myself as such a nerd, but the way they drew Athena in owl form, I can't help but think of Hedwig. Fallacy view will implode. Oh, the trauma didn't start yet. Oh, 18 people watching. Yeah, so, no, we're going at a very brisk pace. We are pausing as much as we like. Probably wouldn't recommend this as your first way to experience this musical, because we are talking about all of our opinions, so it might take a little while.
Magic war, only the best would kill. One day a boy came for the thrill.
So, this animator, they definitely, well, this interpretation of young Odysseus, this is an interesting look for him for sure. I really love how they drew Polites here, even young, having the glasses. And then we have Eurylochus, which we don't like talking too much about him because he is just the worst. But we have Eurylochus over here, which actually, an interesting fact is, they were brother-in-laws in the Odyssey, through marriage, which is definitely interesting. I'm open, check for Discord. Okay, I will check my Discord. I take much offense to you watching Epic without me. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We did talk about that at some point. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn the volume up so that they can hear you on Discord. You might have a full brain after this. Please continue talking. This is a reaction after all. Yeah, I am so welcome, Logical Fallacy, to the stream.
Hello.
Why are they so
this may
cute? Yeah.
either be.
Yeah, this.
I apologize.
Yes.
Underwater.
Yeah, we're pausing as much as we like. So if you have anything to say at any point, well, we're like an hour in on the 5th song, so feel free
Do
to.
you mind sharing your screen on Discord?
Oh yeah, I can share my screen on Discord. I did not think about that.
Talking
But
over you.
yes, that is very true. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Even when he's young, he looks evil.
I do.
Yes, Eurylochus even looks evil as a little child. That is so true. We absolutely hate this man in this chat, and if you're a Eurylochus stan, I don't care that I only have like 20 viewers or so. Get out. No, I'm just kidding. You can stay here, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna be happy with your opinions.
Dang,
Yes.
there was some real shade of Eurylochus over there.
Oh, Eurylochus is my least favorite character, and I do not hide it.
You're-
In Epic Karaoke, if I get tasked with singing Eurylochus, I will just protest and not sing the lines. Make songs like Mutiny like very funny.
A boy whose mind rivaled the poor's own will. Let's go! Maybe one day he'll follow me and we'll make a greater tomorrow. Then they'll see I know he'll change the world, 'cause he is a warrior of the night. Maybe one day I'll reach him and we can build his skills as I teach him. If there
I just love how the piano melody, Poseidon is better. Well, we'll get to talk about Poseidon later, but trust me, trust me. But what a ruthless take. I mean, Athena's pretty cool here, I would say. I think, their depiction of Athena, it makes me curious, like, if they were watching Odysseus in particular for any special reason. Like, that's the main thing that I wonder, and especially whenever we take it into the greater context of Greek mythology, and Odysseus being, like, 1/12 Hermes, it's like, is that maybe a reason why she had special interest with Odysseus? Or did all of this only start because of how he dealt with the magic boar in this story? I definitely wonder about that. Why does the logical fallacies mic sound like Duber43 mic? I don't know what that means. It doesn't sound like a compliment, though. Do you have any thoughts, fallacy? Oh. I do not know if the logical fallacy is still here. Hopefully his internet didn't die. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on for now.
Show yourself. I know you're watching me. Show yourself. I can see you.
How can you see through my spell?
I was lying, and you fell for my bluff.
Love that
Well
line.
done, enlighten me, what's your name?
You first, and maybe I'll do the same.
Nice try, but two can play this game.
Nah, don't be modest. I know you're a goddess, so let's be honest. You are Athena. Badass in the arena. Unmatched, witty, and queen of the best strategies we've seen.
If you're looking
So, yeah, I mean, I love how just confident and cocky Odysseus is here. I'm also going to make sure that we didn't just lose the... Let's see, I'm going to try and disconnect and reconnect. I'm trying to set up... Okay, logical fallacy is still here. He's trying to set up his audio, though. But yeah, let's see. I like how that they drew the detail about him killing the magic pork or whatever this is in the animatic. It's a magic boar, okay? It's a little different than a pig. The magic fork. Yeah. No, it's magic fork. Yeah, that's what we refer to the boar as from now on. But, it does call into question, like, how does he know that this was Athena? I don't know if we really get much of an answer other than, well, clearly he knows a lot more about the gods than the average person, and he's very well researched. But he was very confident about it being Athena. And whenever we look into some cut content, which I don't think we can take as canon, well, I mean, he does have that interaction where he asks Athena something, but I guess that would be later in the timeline. Get the AI out of her thumbnail, dude, not cool. I mean, I'm not going to get into that sort of thing, but, the world is changing.
for a mentor, I'll make sure your time's well spent.
Sounds like a plan.
But I do agree. I would stop like how broad like AI is taking over things, but I don't think there's too much we can do to stop it. I don't know.
Goddess and man, best is a
He'll
friend.
see where it ends.
Okay.
Maybe one day they'll follow me and we'll make a greater tomorrow. Then they'll see I know we'll change the world, 'cause we are the warriors of the mind. Maybe one day we'll reach them and we can build.
So that's interesting that they have the boar like that. I think this is just like symbolism of them taking like the boar as sort of like a trophy. Which I don't know if there's anything within the musical to suggest that, but it definitely is interesting. Her helmet is known, right? I mean, yeah, I guess so. Though, I mean, I don't know if we can take like her helmet being on her as like canon. I guess it would depend on what the canon animatics are. I'm listening to Butcher Vanity while watching this. Do you have a favorite epic song or singer? W song, not gonna lie. Athena's definitely up there, I will say. I also really like the voice actor for Calypso, though her songs are a little bit questionable, but that's like very far in the future. I'm gonna try to recall Fallacy, see if see if that helps the audio thing, because I want him to be able to talk about his thoughts too. He was very.
Can you
Oh,
hear me, by the way?
hello! I can hear you.
Sorry, I was having like audio issues on my end.
Oh, no worries. No worries. They were asked though. This is Restream. Do the thumbnail, whatever you like, my guy. Yeah, Jaina. I mean, here's the thing. I definitely understand people who are mad about AI art and that sort of thing. But it's sort of like just how the world's going to be. Like a lot of people, they act a little high and mighty, about it. But I think this is one of my streams that has had the most viewers while it's been live in a little bit. So I can understand the dislike for it, though. Like, the dude is right to express his opinion, but I don't think anybody should be shamed for how they choose to set up their stream, especially because it's going to be commonplace, regardless of what people want. Watching animatics made by real hardworking people with an AI thumbnail is ridiculous. Choose a random picture of a god or just put her face on top of an epic screenshot. The use of AI is just lazy. Thank you.
Well, I mean, they're supporting artists, though. I mean, I will say it is kind of the same laziness factor of just like putting a random picture and
you could say that even me reacting instead of making animatics myself is lazy, because like, why are you doing that? Oh, we are making sure to link everybody we're reacting to in the stream chat, and once I'm done with that, I will update the description to include all the people that we are reacting to. But I mean, I'm okay with people being critical of me in my chat. That's fine. We're entitled to your opinion. And I'll just leave it at that.
Sorry.
Why is Fallacy's voice auto-tuned? Sorry that I have you on the stream during such a controversial moment, Oh man, you might get canceled for this.
The comments. That's a funny comment. Why is fallacy? Plus, you misspelled fallacies.
That's pretty funny.
As we teach them.
I'm gonna start playing the video again. But yeah, if you guys want to be critical of me, that's 100% fine. As long as we keep it civil and it doesn't just turn into slurs, like, it's okay to have a different opinion.
If there's a problem, we'll have the answer. We are the warriors of the mind. I still intend to make sure you don't fall behind. Don't forget that you're a warrior of a very special kind. You are a warrior of the mind.
A really cool design for a thing.
That is an awesome design. Oh my god. I don't even remember if you've seen Mercy Cyclops, but you are in for a treat if you've not seen Mercy Cyclops, because Mercy Cyclops is just crazy. Definitely going to choose one of their animatics for the Polyphemus Saga. But yeah, the design for Athena is so cool. I also just loved this apple that you have is sort of like the religious imagery whenever it comes to the Greek pantheons. I don't really know if they have a story that's sort of comparable to the garden, but it's definitely an interesting choice to have them holding an apple here whenever they're not just like the goddess of combat, they are also the goddess of wisdom, of knowledge. So it is very interesting from that perspective.
That is cool. I have to laugh at Bloom's brother. Who
got turned into an apple. Her voice is so good. Slay. Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Yes,
her voice is one of the strongest in the cast. I mean, I feel like Calypso's voice actor is probably one of the top ones too.
That and Cersei's British accent.
Cersei! Oh man, I love Cersei's voice too. And it's just funnier too because I'm pretty sure Cersei and the voice actor for Cersei and Jorge are a couple, which makes their song later on very funny. Actually, Logical, is that the Cyclops on all fours? Don't know. Mercy might be the one that does it like that, which is definitely interesting. We are going to talk about that. I do